Hi everyone, so today I wasn't originally going to make a video, but I've been thinking and I thought that this is kind of a topic that has been going around lately and I think will go around until the internet fails us and that is no longer a way of communication. So I'm going to start off with a little story. Today I was talking with a friend of mine and my friend is from India. Well, I don't know if she's from India, but her family is from India, so they are Hindu. And I live in a small town, so she's like the only Hindu person. That's the only family that's really from another country besides Holland that, is in our town. So obviously they're the only Hindu family. And I was wondering, I was like, oh, I wonder what they do like over the Christmas holidays because, in about a month, Christmas holidays coming up. And I was like, oh, well, they wouldn't celebrate Christmas, so what did they do? So I asked her. Because, we're not super good friends, but I feel comfortable enough to ask stuff like that. So I asked her, I was like, well, what do you do over the Christmas holidays? Because you're not Christian and, you didn't grow up, like, you're not from this country, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you're not really, I didn't know. And she's like, oh, yeah, we put up a tree. Excuse me. We put up a tree and we do presents, but Christmas we do a little bit for it, but it's not like the religious aspect of it, and that's kind of like with my family. It's about more about family and being together than it is about religion. So, that's what I would do like on Christmas. Like that's what I did last year. You know, I still feel like I can celebrate Christmas, but just not I don't think of it as like Christmas. I just think of it as like holiday or Yule time, but Christmas, I don't know. Point is, I celebrate Christmas with my family because I think this whole time of year is about being with your family, regardless. So I was talking about that, and I was like, that's pretty cool because I like it. Like she's like, yeah, we try to assimilate ourselves into kind of like the culture. We wouldn't really consider it culture because we grow up in it, but this is like to other people from around the world. This is our culture. So we're like, oh, yeah, that's really interesting. And she's like, it's funny that you bring that up because I was sitting in physics today, and we were talking similar things, and I was mentioning, yeah, like my family, we don't celebrate Christmas because this isn't our religion, but we do some stuff for Christmas because we've lived in this country for so long that you kind of um, get accustomed to their culture. Just like if you went to India or any other part of the world where they had a different religion, you would get involved with their holidays and that kind of stuff because that's part of their culture. And this boy, and I've grown up with him, I've known him my entire life. His family is super, super Christian. But I never thought of them as the type to be like, this religion is wrong. But he has the nerve to say, well, it doesn't matter because your religion is wrong. Just flat out to her. He said, your religion is make believe. Your religion is made up. It's not real. And he had the ignorance to say that to her in front of the entire class, just out in public. And I was like, are you serious? Are you freaking serious? I was so pissed when she told me that. Like, probably more pissed than I should have been, but that's just, I mean, as a pagan and as someone whose religion is, you know, bashed all the time, constantly by people for being, the devil's work and, black magic and evil and wrong in so many ways. And these people are like, have like a disorder and they're just sick in the mind to practice that. Coming from a religion that has that happen to them all the time, I'm very passionate when it comes to other people's religions being picked on. And I just thought, and I was like, I cannot believe. To me, saying your religion is wrong, saying that it's make believe and it's not real and that you're dumb for like for believing in it. Like how can you believe in something? That's like saying like, well, you're wrong because you're a woman. Like you're wrong because you're black. Religion is on the same level as gender, as ethnicity. It's not just like completely separate from that. When you are prejudiced against someone's religion, you're like that's like being prejudiced against someone who's African American, African Canadian, or someone who's Chinese, someone who's Asian, someone who's I think Chinese is the wrong word. I think it's Mandarin. I don't really know. Or Chinese. See, exactly. I need to be more versed in culture. But at the same time, that's just, it's like saying you are a woman, so therefore you don't get any rights. You are Hindu, so therefore everything you say is wrong, and you are, evil for believing in what you believe in. And I was like, I cannot believe that someone, we know each other. We're all like kind of friendly with each other. We know each other. We wouldn't like just say that to someone. Like, it's just baffling to me. And I know that kind of stuff goes on all the time, but you don't expect it from people, and I definitely didn't expect it from this person that I've grown up with my entire life. But I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, he was the one who told me that Santa wasn't real. And where did I learn that Santa Claus wasn't real? Church. And that just ruined Christmas for me. I was like, okay, thanks. Christmas was totally different when I found out Santa wasn't real. Like, all of the excitement and the joy was just gone. But that is beside the point. To me, all paths lead to the same place. Whether you're Hindu, whether you're Christian, whether you're pagan, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Jewish, it doesn't matter. Because if you're a good person and you respect other people, then you know what? That's what counts in life. And you know what? If I was there and I thought about this, it's like, you know what? I may not call myself a Christian. I don't believe in the one true God. I don't follow that path. But you know what? I'm a better Christian than you will ever be after saying something like that. Something so ignorant and something so rude and just something so awful that, you know what? That makes me a better Christian, and I'm not even Christian. So, really, it is just so ridiculous. And, I mean, I want to be able to tell people, if they ask, if they're curious, hey, what religion are you? I'm pagan. What are you? Oh yeah, that's so cool. Because to me, like, religion just gets me really excited. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just something that I'm very passionate about. I'm a very spiritual person, but I'm also very interested in religion. Like, just in general, like, I'm really, really interested in, like, all different types of religion. But, I'd like to be able to share my beliefs with people. But it's people like that. And I'm not just saying it's Christians. It's everyone who is just kind of, stuck in their own, like, little bubble of their religion that prevent me from being able to share stuff like that. And I mean, I'm not saying that I want to be like just go around everyone and be like, hey, I'm pagan. But if it comes up, I want to feel comfortable enough to be able to talk about that. And right now I don't. And it's not that I'm stuck in the broom closet. And not that I don't want to come out. It's just that, A, who just goes around telling other people, like, their religion? And B, like, if that's the kind of reaction that this girl, like my Hindu friend, is going to get, imagine me, like, being, like, talking about my beliefs and my path and my religion, and just saying, like, oh yeah, I'm a witch, no big deal, Catholics burned the witches at the stake. Like, I don't think that's gonna go over well. But I'm just so miffed. Especially when you live in a country like Canada, we're a cultural mosaic, and we take pride in having many different cultures, many different ethnicities, different religions, different people in our country. We take pride in that. And then you go and you say something like that. Like, A, you're not being a very good Christian, and you're not being a very good Canadian. Because you just went against every, ideal. And aren't we supposed to be working towards, an idealistic, like, country and an idealistic world? And you go around saying something like that. It's like, who do you think you are? Like, what put you in that position? Especially for a 17, 18-year-old boy. Like, what? Who raised you? Because, quite honestly, like, yeah, I grew up in this small town just like everybody else, but yeah, I don't have that attitude towards other people's religion. So, I'm thinking, your parents really, misinformed you on how the world works. And it's people like that that make me think, oh my god, if I ever raised my kid like that, oh my gosh, that would it's just so irritating, and I'm just so flustered right now that I'm probably not making any sense. But any of you who live in a small town or come from a small community will know what it's like to feel like the judgment, and not just from your religion but from being different. I mean, I am just an exuberant person who's very dramatic and very artsy in a small hockey town in southwestern Ontario. Like, really, if I didn't have enough friends already, wait till people find out that I'm pagan. Like, it's just so difficult, and I felt so bad. No one deserves to hear that about anything. It's just, it's so sad. It is so sad that the people that you've grown up with and you've known your entire life would just say those things to you and be so rude and be so ignorant. And like, they're going to get a big slap in the face when they go out in the real world and really see how many, ethnicities and how many religions are out there and how passionate people are about them. Like, you're going to have a big, kick in the pants, buddy, when you go out and go off to your college, university, post-secondary education. And you can't say those things to people because they're not going to be so nice about it. You're lucky that you live in this town and that there aren't, that the minorities are really, really minor, and that, you don't have to necessarily deal with the repercussions of saying something like that. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to say about that. And let me know your thoughts and opinions about this whole topic. Like, let me know your experiences with, like, religious ignorance. I think that's what I'm going to title this video, because it's really interesting. And it's really interesting to see how people have been treated and how people are still treated when we're supposed to be living in an equal society, especially here in North America, where everyone's supposed to have the same rights and freedoms regardless of ethnicity, religion, race. Ethnicity and race are, oh, not really. Okay, gender, mental ability, whatever, what have you. Everyone's supposed to be equal. Everyone's supposed to have the same rights and freedoms. And yet, we still have ignorant people like that. And I get the whole freedom of speech thing, but technically in the Constitution, or the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, at least, there's nothing in there about free speech. It's freedom of thought and opinion. So basically, when you're voicing your opinions like that, that's really just like a hate crime almost. Saying to somebody that their religion is wrong, it doesn't give you don't have freedom of speech when you're saying something like that. So, I don't know. It's just, it really bothered me. And it really bothered me when I was talking to my friends about it, and they're like, oh, I would never say that to someone, but, oh, yeah, their religion is wrong. Like, they told me, like, yeah, well, her religion is wrong, but I wouldn't say that to her because that's just awful. And I was like, well, wow, what must you think of me? It's just really unfortunate and sad. Really, really sad.